All right, so we got Jungle Cruise. Can't sit here and say that I was excited about this, but let's talk about it. My name is Brandon Keith Avery, and this is just my opinion. Hey, what's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Just My Opinion for my movie review for Jungle Cruise. And if this is your first time finding me and you happen to like the video, please give me that thumbs up and consider subscribing. All right, guys, so we have this film Jungle Cruise right here, and I have to be honest, my expectations for this film were zero. I mean, I just wasn't excited about it at all, but I had an opportunity to see it, and so I was like, hey, why not? Let me go ahead and check it out. Now, I am a fan of The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and Emily Blunt. Of course, these are two phenomenal actors. Emily Blunt more than Dwayne The Rock Johnson, but The Rock, he does fill in the roles that, suits him the best. And also, I am a fan of the director, Jean-Colette Serra. This guy right here, this is what he looks like. I like all of his movies, guys. All of his movies are on fire. Orphan, Unknown, Nonstop, Run All Night, The Shallows. I will talk about Jungle Cruise and it's here in a second. And of course, he's doing Black Adam right now. That's some post-production. The Rock just talked about them rapping on that. I am a fan of the director and I am a fan of the two leads. And like I said, we have a great director. I have The Orphan right there on Blu-ray. This movie is fire. If you haven't seen this movie, go ahead and treat yourself. Friday night date at home, whatever, chill, get your popcorn, your snacks, your libations, whatever. You're going to have a good time with this movie if you haven't seen it. So it shows some promise, and I like an adventure, and so I was like, hey, I'm here for the ride. But before I go any further and let you know what my likes and dislikes were, let me tell you exactly what this thing was about. Based on Disneyland's theme park ride, where a small riverboat takes a group of travelers through a jungle filled with dangerous animals and reptiles, but with a supernatural element. Now, I have to be honest with you, I did not know that this was based on a theme park ride until after I saw the movie, when I was reading it and preparing for this review. But I think that's kind of cool that you was able to adapt a movie outside of a theme park. And I have to be honest with you guys, they did a great job with that. Overall, I really did enjoy this film. Now, it could be that that's the reason because my expectations were so low. I was just going in with zero interest, but I walked away smiling. And also, I was engaged, not only in the story, but the characters and where they came from. Now, y'all heard me say that I am a fan of The Rock. He was the best thing in this movie as Frank Wolf. I mean, his character was hilarious. Not only was his character hilarious, but we all know that The Rock has a big, strong physical presence. That was very apparent in this film. And because of that, he was able to kick a lot of ass in this movie. And it was very entertaining. I mean, on his character, you're going to like him and you're not going to like him because on one front, he's very honest and upfront and tells the truth. But at the same time, he lies to you as well. It's quite interesting that he's like an honest con man. And the chemistry that he has with Emily Blunt on screen as well. Her character is Lily Halton. I liked as well. She's no damsel in distress in this film, but she does need help like everybody does. She needed help in this movie and The Rock did too. And when these two come together, they do make a great, powerful team duo on screen. It's not romantic either per se. It's just like a natural development. I love the bond and the chemistry that these two were able to build throughout the film, where when it started off, they were at each other's heads for understandable reasons. But as it progressed on, it just kind of made sense like, okay, hey, we both kind of want the same thing. Let's work together, so we can both seize the day. Now, as far as the action adventure element of this film, I like that too. Early on, I was kind of saying to myself, okay, this seems like just one of those fun family films to where it's going to be blatantly obvious that the good guys succeed. There are going to be no stakes and it's going to be kind of honky-dory comedy as well. Well, the honky-dory comedy is there, but it works. And as far as my concerns, as far as no stakes are concerned, that was my initial thoughts. But when a villain in this film popped up, by y'all know the name Jesse Plemons, he was in Breaking Bad. I couldn't think about it. So when Jesse Plemons comes on the scene or whatever, I was like, oh, wow, you coming with that type of energy, that type of heat. Okay, maybe there are going to be some stakes in this film. Maybe characters will die. Maybe you are a threat that I should take seriously. That was my initial reception of his character. However, the way he delivered his character with like the lines of dialogue and the accent or whatever, I don't know what they was trying to do here. I mean, this is in England. His name is Prince Joachim, and it just kind of came off weird. It wasn't bad, it wasn't good, but it was weird. And that's the same thing with Paul Giamatti. I like Paul Giamatti, fantastic actor. I mean, you know, top quality performer right here. You know what I'm saying? Oscar caliber, you know, nominated for one right there. I mean, the guy can act, but he was a bit weird in this movie too. I just really wasn't feeling him. I was just kind of saying like, y'all have these two great talents in this film, Jesse Plemons and Paul Giamatti, and this is the way you want to use them? Again, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either. It was just weird. Something else in this movie that just really wasn't rubbing me the right way. It didn't ruin the film, but it could have been much better, was the CGI. There was a jaguar, not a jaguar, but a cheetah or a leopard in this film. The whole thing was CGI, and it just kind of came off silly to me. Also, some other villains in this film, you know, one was like a bee honey man, one was made out of trees, another one was made out of snakes. I was not scared at all. I did not sense any threat coming from them whatsoever. You know, when they were on the screen, I was like, yeah, whatever. You just over here come out, boogie, 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 boo. And I'm just like, yeah, whatever, dude. You're not doing any. I mean, I wasn't in love with Jesse Plemons' role in this film as Prince Joachim, but I think he did a better job in the villainous role than these other CGI beasts as well. But other types of action in this movie, I did feel like there was some stakes. You know, they're in the Amazon or in the jungle, going through these ravines, going down these rivers and lakes and channels and things like that on boats. And they have, you know, sometimes there's dog chases in the boats and stuff like that with guns and cannons and explosions. And that was all cool. I liked the choreography of how they maneuvered their boats. And, you know, it's kind of a few edge of the seat moments. And so I got to give the film credit where credit is due there. And I just also like the story, the world that this built, you know, this film right here. You know, it was believable. You know, I mean, I like an adventure. I like the National Treasure movies. This film is not nearly as good as those, but, you know, it has some of the same elements. You know, if you do like that adventure, like, you know, the legend, the myth of something, you know, they're after some pedos in this movie that are called Tears of the Moon, and I like the legend, I like the myth, I like the story that came with it. It was a big exposition dump from The Rock's character Frank when he was trying to explain that, and I kind of wish they would have shown it more. You know, I mean, the film did come in at around 2 hours and 7 minutes, and it flew by. It's not saying that it lagged, but, you know, I was just like, wow, you're just gonna keep on talking to us and telling us, you know, what's going on instead of showing us, you know. And so only really complaint I had in this film were Paul Giamatti, Jesse Plemons. Then I'm just the performances just was weird, and the CGI villains and the not the leopard cheetah cat animal or whatever, that was just a bit weird too. But other than that, guys, it was fun. I liked the growth in the characters from beginning to end. And I mean, if they made a sequel to this, Jungle Cruise 2, we got to find the bones of whatever, you know. I would want to see it. I would actually be looking forward to it, you know, if they made that announcement, because this film, you know, was successful in so many ways. So I'll give my rating for the film at the end. But in the meantime, I want to let you guys know that is just my opinion. Thank you so much for tuning in. I do appreciate it. All things here are subjective. Whether I liked or liked it doesn't mean that you have to like or like it. If you like the video, though, please go ahead and give me the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on social media, guys. But again, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget that my name is Brandon Keith Avery. And if I had to rate the Jungle Cruise out of a 1 out of 10, I'll go ahead and give this one like a 7.5 out of 10. Yes, a 7.5 out of 10. But guys, again, thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Peace.